Today we're going to be talking about a Pokemon product that was extremely rare and extremely limited on release, and this is a case of Prismatic Evolution's Pokemon Center ETBs. We already know how difficult it was to get regular Pokemon Center ETBs for this set, but to get a sealed case of them was multiple times more difficult. So we're going to go over why this is so rare and why I think it might actually pose to be a good investment even at the crazy price point it's at. And I'll give you a little side view of the case here. As you can see, it says SV 8.5, which as we know is Prismatic Evolutions. So this is in fact a sealed case of Prismatic Evolution's Pokemon Center ETBs. So we'll sit down and discuss why I think this might be a good investment. Now in the Pokemon market or the Pokemon investing space, there is this thing called case premiums. And all this boils down to is buying a sealed case of a product. Booster boxes, ETBs, Pokemon Center ETBs, etc. will cost slightly more per booster box or ETB compared to buying a random loose booster box or ETB off of eBay or TCG Player. And if you're not into buying loads of sealed product or investing in sealed product, it may seem crazy to you that people will pay more money to get a cardboard exterior with stop tape on their product. But believe it or not, people actually do buy sealed cases to collect, not just to invest, not just to break open for the booster boxes or ETBs inside, but people do actually collect these. Now, the other thing that comes with the sealed case is protection. This means that the boxes inside haven't been touched, they haven't been moved around. You don't have to worry about shipping from the Pokemon Center, which is notoriously bad, where they'll just put one ETB inside of a box that is far too big and add a little packing slip and one little bubble wrap piece and pray to God that it gets to you in good shape. Now the other component that goes into a sealed case premium is their rarity. Often, it's much more rare to have a sealed case of something than a loose booster box. Believe it or not, every Pokemon product you've bought has come from a sealed case at one point. And because most of these sealed cases get opened, having a sealed case becomes more and more rare over time. Now, why do I think the Prismatic Evolution's Pokemon Center ETB case actually might be a good investment over $1,000? Well, there are a couple reasons why I think this. Number one is gonna be Rarity. If you don't know, the release for pre-orders for Prismatic Evolutions was November 1st. And this went live around 9 to 10 a.m. And at the beginning, you could place orders of 4 Pokemon Center ETBs. This was soon changed to a cap of 2 per order because of the demand. The Pokemon Company was monitoring the sales data, and they saw that they were going to sell out of these Pokemon Center ETBs way quicker than they anticipated, and they wanted to slow it down a little bit more so more people would have access to them. But what this unintentionally did was cap the sale of cases to people who ordered within that first hour to 2, and they had to order a quantity of 4. Now you might say, what if somebody made 2 orders of 2 ETBs on the same account, same address, same shipping, everything like that? Well, you wouldn't get a sealed case because no matter what, the Pokemon Company treats them like separate orders. They don't do combined shipping. They will ship every single order separately. Now on top of this, buying a quantity of 4 doesn't guarantee a sealed case. I actually made 2 orders for 2 sealed cases or quantities of 4 on the Pokemon Center website the day the pre-orders went live. My first order showed up at my doorstep and I was really confused because it was a cubic box, which is not how the cases for ETBs are designed. And I opened it up and I just saw 4 ETBs sitting inside it, all stacked on top of each other. Now my second order is the one that I showed you in this video, and this one actually came as a sealed case, which I'm very fortunate for. And I want to say, I'm not saying this to flex, I'm not saying this to be like, oh, look at all the stuff I got. I'm just breaking it down exactly what happened and being transparent with what I ordered and what I got. So if you had to make an order in a 1 to 2 hour window back in November for this set, before you could even see the EV promo card that came in the Pokemon Center ETB, and then when it came to shipping them, the Pokemon Company didn't always ship them as a sealed case, this is an incredibly rare product. And right now, a lot of people are trying to unload them on the secondary market to just lock in some profits. And it makes sense. You've pretty much 4 times your money. It costed around $254 for a quantity of 4, and right now the market value is right around $1,150. And to many people who are flippers or just fans of Pokemon in general, they see that growth, they see that pricing, and they're just like, yeah, I'd rather have $1,000 instead of this sealed case of Pokemon. And now I know you might be thinking, well, they're going to reprint these. They're going to make a ton more Pokemon Center ETBs and Prismatic Evolution's products. Well, I don't think they're going to reprint cases again. I think they're going to have the quantity maximum per order set to 2 or maybe even 1 for the Pokemon Center ETBs because the demand is so high. We saw that they did this with Journey Together pre-orders, and then the site crashed within like 30 minutes. I don't think we're going to see the Pokemon Company upping the maximum order for Pokemon Center ETBs to 4 anytime soon, especially not for this set. And what does that mean? Well, even if they reprint these Pokemon Center ETBs and make a ton more for everybody, I don't think we're going to get any more sealed cases introduced to the market. So what does this mean for an investment? Well, I think this product, more than most other products in the Scarlet and Violet and Sword and Shield era, will have a huge case premium. And I think it hits all the marks that we discussed earlier. It's incredibly rare, it's incredibly difficult to get, and it's gonna be an iconic piece of Pokemon history. This is the set that broke the Pokemon market. And this is the most rare and premium product from this set. So now I've said all this stuff about how I think this is a great investment and that it will perform insanely well in the future. Do I think you should buy it now? Do I think I'm inducing FOMO to go buy it now? Well, in my opinion, I'm not sure of when to buy this. This is something that I'm glad I don't have to worry about, and I'm glad that I have one. Because there are two scenarios that I see happening. One is that they reprint the Pokemon Center ETBs into the ground, they make a ton of them, and then the cost of Pokemon Center ETBs for this set drops, at least for a little while. I assume it will come back up well over the price that they're at now in the coming 5 years, but we're not talking about 5-year plus right now. We're kind of talking short-term market stuff for when to buy and when not to buy. So if they make a ton of Pokemon Center ETBs and the market drops for these, say to $150 per Pokemon Center ETB, we could see cases drop under $1,000. Now, I'm not guaranteeing they'll drop under $1,000. I'm not saying 100% if the Pokemon Company reprints a ton of Pokemon Center ETBs that these will drop in price and that'll be the time to buy. I'm just saying that's a possibility. Now, the other option is they reprint the Pokemon Center ETBs, they get gobbled up by demand, they get gobbled up by collectors, investors, scalpers, flippers, and the price of Pokemon Center ETBs doesn't really drop even with that huge out of supply because the demand is just there for it. In that case, I would guess that the sealed case would then get even more of a premium because it would be more rare in comparison to the regular Pokemon Center ETB because more supply is being added to the Pokemon Center ETB and none more is being added of the cases. Or third option, they decide to move up the cap to 4 and people can get cases again. But that one is the most unlikely. There's no way they decide to do that. I'm not gonna say guarantee because then I'll eat my words because they'll just do it. But if they went that route, I'd be incredibly surprised. So even if you're not in the market to buy one of these cases or have any interest in buying one of these cases, I think this will be a fun and interesting product to watch in the market because it could make some crazy moves and there could be a huge gap between the case cost and the single ETB cost. And if you're worried that I'm making this video maliciously and that the whole point of it is to pump up the price of the ETB case, I'm not selling my ETB case. I don't plan to sell it for the next 5+ years. This is something I want to hold on to for a long time. It's going to be a fun little memento thing of the crazy Pokemon market of 2024/2025. So I might not even end up selling it in the future if I don't have to. And in 5+ years when I intend to sell it, no one will remember I made this video at all. So let me know down in the comments, do you agree with me? Do you think that these ETB cases will have a huge premium? Or do you think they won't have any premium at all and they'll just be the cost of a Pokemon Center ETB multiplied by 4 going forward? But either way, if you agree or disagree, I appreciate you watching, and that's all I got for today. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and stay safe out there.